to Poetry Night Friday. We are breaking tradition for the first time just because yeah, we had stuff to do on Thursday. So
TGI Poetry.
Okay, anyway, let's see. Let's introduce the prompt of tonight, of the night of today, the poem prompt of the week. Do you want to introduce it or should I do it? You don't know the prompt. Oh, you
Write
know
a
the prompt.
sonnet.
Oh yeah, okay. Yes.
The prompt is write a sonnet.
Using the word of the day from Merriam-Webster.
Oh shit! I forgot about the word.
Oh.
All right, I'll alter mine very quickly. Yes, the word is nascent. Okay.
Yes. Okay. So each of us has written a sonnet of sorts with the word nascent, featuring the word nascent, and we'll see what we all came up with. And we also have old poems and a very crazy dog in here. So should we wait for you? I feel like it'd be rude to not wait because I also.
You can go and you can read yours. I just got to figure out a way to. I got to replace one of these words with the word nascent, and then I'm good.
You want help?
No, I got it.
Okay. We should probably check that before going live. So we're already 18 minutes late because I actually was going to write my sonnet in the car on the way here, and there was traffic and we took a wrong turn, and so I ended up navigating a very complicated detour route. So I guess all of our poems are going to be hot off the press. Wait. Or no, wait, you finished yours yesterday.
I did mine
huh?
yesterday.
Oh, snap. Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. I guess we can start on ours. Do you have like a long introduction for yours? I can.
No.
Okay, then I will go first so we can stall. So this sonnet, featuring the word nascent, has well, it's kind of funny. I got really accustomed to writing these like 1 and 3 foot sonnets because I was putting together a chapbook with a bunch of fables told as sonnets, and they're called TLDR sonnet fables. So they're like little micro shrunken down sonnets that only have 3 beats per line instead of 5. So now that I'm given a whole iambic pentameter to say a thing, I'm just like, oh, I have too many syllables to use up, and I wrote my sestet, and then I was like, oh, that already says a thing. Now I have to come up with an octet that says either the same thing and leads up to it, or it just says something completely different. So I ended up doing the second one. I wrote a little metaphor thing, and it ended up being really cool because it now references like 3 things that oh, are you done? You're looking at me now.
Yeah, I'm done.
Oh, whoa. Fastest editor.
I'm just listening to you.
Fastest editor in the West. So it ties together 3 themes that I like, or not. Anyway, I'm just gonna read it. I would have someone else read it, but my handwriting is atrocious. Okay, here we go. This one does not have a title, but it might later. Here we go. Our sheltered lives impart us license to watch. Sorry, I can't count. To watch as our democracy decays. There we go. Out of sight and out of mind, they say. Out of sight and out of mind, they say. Modernity invites the crime of silence. And so we let them get away with violence. Deport, defund, until they have their way. Even institutions who could sway relinquish rights in favor of compliance. If you detect imbalance of the humors, examine it with haste, don't be complacent, and underestimate the threat of tumors that make their ways into the space adjacent. Metastases that spread like dreadful rumors. Be sure to catch the cancer while it's nascent. So, sorry, there were some pauses because I couldn't read my own handwriting. But this was kind of inspired by the Sound of Silence by Simon and Garfunkel, that one line, silence like a cancer grows. So yeah, I feel like this is a very relevant line.
Do you have cancer?
What the hell? No.
Wait.
No, I'm talking about silence and like speaking up against like bad government and stuff.
Oh. What if this was your way of announcing that you were dying? You read this, you're like, well, this is why I wrote this poem.
I also have cancer. I'm not dying of it. I mean, we're all dying. We're not getting any closer to birth. We're all going toward death.
Yeah, we're all dying, just at different speeds.
But I think that other things are going to get to me before cancer does. I don't know. Stress.
Yeah.
Alcoholism.
Yeah. Your constant street battles with the crips.
Raccoons.
The knife fights.
The knife
The knife
fights.
fights. Yeah. The sharks. What are the sharks?
The sharks. No, I don't like swimming. I don't think I'm ever in danger.
This kind of
Oh,
sharks.
that. Never mind. Okay. Anyway, that is my new poem of the week. Sonnet featuring the word nascent.
Cool.
Who wants to go next?
You got one? Do you have it memorized?
No.
Okay, then I'll go next. Because you don't have a paper.
True.
Okay, this is my sonnet. Each day I try to leave my dog alone. She does not understand my need to work, and so she licks the couch and chews her bone. My phone lights up with video, it lurks. Dogs lose their mind when left inside, it's true. Affection is the way they understand. They cry for family, for friends, for you. Ignore not ads for rescues, it's not spam. If it were you, cast out, homeless, life smashed, the dogs would lend their skills and lick your face. Dogs have no jobs or else they'd give you cash. They'd stick with you until you kept a pace. I take my nascent friend to work each day. It matters not that she was once a stray.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yep, that's about my dog.
The
Now we
crazy
have
animal.
to.
Crazy animal.
Now we have to give a cameo.
Oh.
She'll
Single.
come back. Oh, no.
She's on her bed.
We'll just
She's being a good dog.
we'll just call her back later.
She'll come back.
Okay, cool. Wait, I just can I see that line again?
You like the bad rhyme?
No, there's like something that was definitely not an I am.
Ignore
Life
not.
smashed, like smashed.
Life smashed? Yeah. If it were you, cast out, homeless, life smashed. You just have to talk
If
like.
it were you, cast out, homeless, life smashed,
If it were you, cast out, homeless, life smashed.
homeless.
Yeah, homeless,
Okay.
life smashed. Yeah, you just gotta talk like you just still learning English.
The meter determines the pronunciation, and not the other way around. So
Okay.
there we go.
Yeah, you just can't
Meter
say.
is king.
Meter's not supervenient.
Meter is king.
My mom used to say, she's like, Daniel, do you have your umbrella? And I'm like, my umbrella? And it's umbrella. She's like, you get your umbrella. She's like, that's what I've said. And I'm like, that's not what you said. You said umbrella. What do you... And my brother and I were always like, why are you saying umbrella? But it's probably because she was speaking in iambic pentameter and trying to be accurate, and we didn't even know it. So we're the asshole.
Okay.
Homeless. Life smashed.
Okay.
Matt's turn.
All right. Mine is not so political as the first one. Maybe in an abstract way. That's just how it turned out. Tech.
She just let it hit her.
Oh.
Just knocked down.
Because you didn't say the trigger word.
I'm bad
of
at playing with
catch.
dogs.
All right, here goes. Textbook. This is a description of a textbook. The undigested sediment of haste, leftovers reconstructed patiently into suggestive stratigraphic paste, or some hagiographic agency's devotions cataloged adjacently, along a lost orthogonal dimension, antiquity, a budding nascency, the plotless, instantaneous declension of evergreen imperial pretensions, simultaneity of contradictions, defunct, anticipated superventions of favorite salvific metafictions, remonstrances deliberately unread, extinct insinuations, and the dead.
Well, you got some fancy words. Did you
That
know
was
all of
really
them?
good. No, I'd have to look up some
Dude,
of
even
those.
the lawyer doesn't know these
Really good.
words. This one, next
Long
level.
words are fun.
Wait.
Yeah,
what
that was
was the
really
one
good.
in the second line? There's a fancy word in there.
Reconstructed? Leftovers?
No, wait. Maybe it was like later than I thought.
Leftovers are the.
Hagiographic? What is that?
Hagiography is when
Hag-
it's a holy writing. It's when you write like a saint's life or something.
Yeah, and you use it to
Hagiography.
insult people who are writing an article about it. If they're like, oh, the president came with his shiny golden hair, and that, it's like, this is not a
Right.
news report, it's a hagiography? Hagiography? What would you call it? How do you pronounce it?
Hagiography.
Yeah, hagiography.
Yeah.
Unless you need to cram it in a heavy pentameter, and then it's a hagiography.
There you go.
Hagiography.
It's malleable.
Okay, and what was that?
Much like an undigested sediment of haste.
What was this other one?
I don't know. There's a lot of words.
Salvific? Like
Salvific
a
is
salve,
something that
like,
can save you.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's like salvation. Okay.
Like
Yeah.
a salve. Yeah.
Yes,
Dude.
wherever you rub it, it always gets better because it's the topical
Salve?
analgesic.
Yeah.
I keep hearing people say salve.
Salve?
Yeah.
Oh, put a salve on that?
Like salmon.
yeah. Yeah.
I like
people-
Instead of
salmon.
salmon.
Salmon. Yeah.
There's
Salmon.
an L in that word, people.
Salve.
No, people. Yeah,
Salve.
people say salve.
I know,
that's a
it's
thing.
weird.
Salve.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I also think salmon is weird.
Oh, you
It
say
is.
sal.
It's correct,
You say
but
it's like
You say salmon.
like
You say
Salman,
salmon, you shove it in there, salmon.
like Salman Rushdie. You say
Salmon.
Salman.
What? What is
I call him
this other-
Salmon Rushdie.
Okay, anyway. So let's move on to old poems.
I don't know if I have an old poem.
Oh, snap. You know how Poetry Night works. One new,
I
one
know,
old.
but
Is that the thing you sent me? Is that a
Yes.
whole poem?
Oh, wait, no looking at it yet.
Okay.
We're gonna have, so Daniel Watts has no idea. So this is the poem that I won honorable mention for in the rhyming story contest, the NYC Midnight. So this is the winning poem, not the first place winning poem, but rather, the honorable mention poem. And it is, oh shoot, what was the prompt? Oh yeah, okay, so they gave us, it was open genre, we didn't have to choose which category, so I chose comedy again because I like comedy. And then there was like a 500 word limit or so. It was either 500 or like 650 or something, thereabouts. I wrote like right up to the word limit. And the theme, they gave us an emotion which was indignant. And then the theme was call it a day. So, a rhyming story that has all of those things. And now Daniel Watts
Read it?
will premiere this. You don't have to read the synopsis. Read the title and then skip there.
Okay. The Witch and the Dude. The story begins with a sad specimen, a witch who was quite mediocre. She knew very well how to cast a good spell, but the bargains she just couldn't broker. For example, she said that she'd seen a man dead, lest he held his breath for a night. Her botched ultimatum was followed verbatim. He bottled and corked his air tight. When she went to collect on a sizable debt, her stratagem dismally flopped. Of firstborn sons, the mother had none. She'd opted instead to adopt. The witch's debacles, her finances toppled, and now she was quite in the hole. In the meantime, her lair was in large disrepair, as her housekeeping passions were null. These tasks inundate. I must delegate. In short, I must hire a butler. He'll handle the scores of onerous chores, thus freeing me up for work subtler. She aimed to enslave a muscular knave, so she scoped out the shores of Los Angeles. Her broomstick she flew to the beach Malibu, the home of the surfing evangelists. Dismounting her ride, each beefcake she eyed, deciding on which one to bully. Along came a Chad, somewhat scantily clad, who wasn't just half-baked, but fully. Yo, radical craft! He checked out the aft of her broom. Like, is it for real? She informed him that, yes, she's a real sorceress, and she's here to cut him a deal. Do my chores for a day, and I'll kindly repay with any one wish that you choose. Delio, stoked! TBH, I'm so broke, but I could use a few bucks to buy brews. The contract he signed, without reading the lines of script which allowed her to cast a hex that forbade the sun's getaway. Thus the day would eternally last. In the zone intertidal, the witch, now unbridled, a summoning sack from her broom. Out popped her residence with obvious evidence of negligence filling each room. She ordered the honk to start sorting her junk alphabetically, grouping by genre. He had barely begun when he shouted, "All done!" No, this isn't a double entendre. Before she assessed how he cleaned up the mess, he waved, "Swells up, BRB." She sighed, How to scry goes in clairvoyance guides, but was sorted with toad pedigrees. When the surfer returned, he hadn't discerned that the sun in the sky didn't move. Bro, the water was sweet. You got something to eat? I'm just starting to get in the groove. No food till you launder the tapestries yonder. So off he went doing her bidding. When he brought the rugs back, his washing drew flack from the witch. You've got to be kidding. It's sandy and stinks. What implacable jinx has paired me with you? You're fired. Needless to say, she called it a day, and his payment was therefore required. Hey girl, chillax. Just 'cause you gave me the axe doesn't mean you and I can't be friends. I'm digging this vibe, having such a good time. I wish today never ends.
Nice voices.
Yeah, thanks. That's funny. The witch and the dude. That's great.
Okay, wait. So, quick question: do you get the plot? Do you get?
Yeah,
so-
generally the witch hires a dude and then she tricks him because she's like, hey, like one day or something, and then she makes a day never end because she figures like she can use him forever or something, right? And then and then the day never ends, and then he's like thinks he's doing good, but then he's not. So it seems like she gets him to wait. She fires it, but what was his?
So she fires. Oh, he's just a dude. He has nobody has a name.
Okay, but what was she paying him? She was giving him
a wish of
I'll
his
pay with-
choosing.
oh, a wish. Okay,
So grant him a wish.
what did he wish for? Did he even wish for anything? Oh, he wished today never ends, which she was doing anyway. Oh, okay. All right. He wished for the thing, and then now she's stuck with him.
Okay. Huh. So the feedback I got from the judges is they actually give you like written feedback, and they say why they felt it was a good poem or a bad poem. And like half the judges that gave me feedback didn't understand the plot. Like they didn't get that. They just totally missed it. They thought, oh, this is cute, this is funny, and like the rhymes are really tight and snappy. I can't do that very well. And they said, yeah,
That's why you keep losing to the sharks. You gotta.
Yeah. So yeah, I was kind of disappointed. I was just like, okay, if maybe you should read it twice if you feel like you didn't get it. But then, like 3 out of the 5 judges said that they wanted it to be more of a romance, and I was just like, no, like that's not the setup. Just because there's a guy and a girl, and there's like something like some.
Said scantily clad, so a Chad scantily clad, and they're like, oh, they're gonna screw.
They
That's
wanted
what that's
that,
about.
but then she wasn't into him. He was just like totally useless, and so I was just like, look, not everything that looks like it's a setup for some heteros, some situation where they're gonna bang. Like it's not always going there. But yeah, I was really confused about the judges' feedback. So they wanted to make it a romance, and I was like, it's clearly comedy. I mean, it could be a rom-com, but like.
Yeah, that's not a like. I don't think that telling you that it should have ended this way is very good feedback at all, because like then it's not the same poem anymore.
Yeah.
Like saying like, oh, maybe you could clarify something if they had a question about it. Like, oh, I didn't quite get what the deal was, or if he lost the deal at the end, and so okay, well then you can decide to respond to that or not. But like flat out telling you like, why didn't they smash? I don't understand. They
Right?
They got to smash, right? But I don't see that in here, so it's missing. There's a big part missing from your poem.
Yeah, but I think they were also
weird.
using that point to like kind of criticize the character development. They're like, I thought you were gonna shape it so that they would smash, and then so I was.
They thought that's where that goes.
Yeah, and I was just like, no, it's completely.
That's a them
I
problem.
don't know. I thought so too. I thought it was like a reading comprehension problem, but keep in mind that they're also probably reading like 50 poems, and they're probably skimming it.
Yeah.
And like, you read it and didn't immediately get what happened, why it was funny at the end. But
I knew that there was a twist with the. Well, it's also hard when I read
when
something.
you're performing, right?
Yeah, like I'll read a script and then I'm reading it. They're like, oh, it's great. I'm like, I have no idea what happened. I don't know what's going on.
I do that too.
I look at each sentence and I'm like, this is how this sentence should be read, but I forget what happened just before.
Yeah, when I'm just like reading it to myself, I totally get it. And then when I am like reading someone a bedtime story, I'm like, wait, what just happened? Oh, and let me just read 3 paragraphs ago to myself, and then I can actually comprehend it. But yeah, I also have the same problem where like if I'm speaking, I can't comprehend. I cannot interpret. Yeah.
That was fun though. So did this beat the 6-shooter gun?
Oh no.
Or were those different
Those
contests?
were different rounds. So there were 3 rounds, and they had like a group of 60 people in the first round, and the top 8 made it to the second round, and then you get in a group of 30, and then the top 4 or so, I don't know, 4 or 8 make it into the next round. So this was the finalist round, and I think there were 60 of us. So yeah, then they judged it like completely separately from the first and second rounds. So I think I got like 4th place or something in the second round. Was it 4th or 8th? I can't remember. It was like the lowest place that qualified me for the next round, and I was like, that's kind of rude because I actually thought that the Tale of Dapper Dan was like really good, but the judges didn't understand that a revolver has 6 shots, and I said I put so many little things in there like my 6-shooter gun, and I thought, oh, for sure they're gonna get it, and then there were 6 bangs and then a click, and then one of the judges was like, okay, so it sounds like maybe you were shooting the bullets and it ricocheted off various things, maybe the buttons that he was wearing, and then, but what's with the click? And I'm just like, you were so close to understanding what happened, and then you missed it.
And these were international judges, right? They weren't Americans?
No, they're Americans.
Oh, they're Americans?
I know.
Well, they gotta know about 6-shooter guns. Like, I could understand if they're from like some country that never seen a gun before, but like we got 6-shooter guns up the wazoo here. They give them out in kindergarten.
Yeah, so I was really baffled at that, but like I said, maybe these judges are just reading so many things that they can't follow a plot. They're just like, oh, that was funny, you made a wordplay thing, and but I lost the final round to like a bunch of poems about like people's dead grandmas or whatever.
Oh.
I think the expectation these days is that poetry should touch you. It should like should tug at your heartstrings and all.
Indignant dead grandmas? That seems like a strange combination.
I know, right?
Yeah, with the theme of indignant.
I don't know. I think like one of them put it in there like as a like I'm so frustrated that I can't save her or something against the cancer.
So frustrated she's dead.
That's true.
And another one was like reminiscing the time that there was some situation to be indignant about, and what I would give to go back to those days or something, and it's just like, in my opinion, they were kind of weak poems, but I guess they might have told stories in a way that more people can relate to, and maybe that's the more important thing, because I don't know. You can't just, if you decide that your own stuff is good and no one agrees with you, then like, is it really good?
But if you were doing it in front of an audience of general people, I think yours would go over better than a succession of 2,500 dead grandma stories.
No, I don't think so. I think people would just like eat that shit up. They want more dead grandma stories. Because everyone has a grandma.
Go to a bar. Go to one of these comedy nights and do 6-shooter gun, and then put up a dead grandma, and then see which one gets the
okay, but that's comedy
reaction.
Night, not poetry
I
night.
know, but it's still reading poetry. Like you have these funny little rhymes. I mean, what is Weird Al but poetry? It's just like funny little things, but it's hella more popular than poetry.
I mean, I think Weird Al is like more quality than like Billie Eilish, but then Billie Eilish is just way more popular because she talks about things that people relate to or something, and she says it like sexily.
Yeah, I know. You gotta go buy a 6-shooter gun.
I forgot to ask you this last time. Is the Dapper Dan, in addition to being Daniel Watts, is that a reference to
The
Oh
Dapper
Brother,
Dans?
Where Art Thou?
What?
There's a pomade that the main character's obsessed with that he can't find throughout the whole movie called Dapper Dan. He gets like really angry about it.
That's a phrase also, like just a one-off, like a negative Nancy.
Oh.
Dapper Dan is like a fancy
That's
dude.
just why they named it.
And they're
Dapper.
also a barbershop quartet in Disneyland, I think, the Dapper Dans. Am I crazy?
No, I think that's right. Yeah, they're the guys with little hats, and they're like.
That's every barbershop quartet.
I know, but they.
Yeah, you gotta do the arm.
I've never seen the other guys. I've only seen them in The Simpsons. I don't know any other barbershop.
But you've seen Amazing Man. You know about the
Oh yeah,
barbershop
that's true.
quartet.
They do have that little funny little hats. That's right. You're right.
Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, Oh, shoot. You still have a poem to read. Sorry, we're already in ramble mode. Do we want to keep talking about barbershop quartets and the
Probably.
origins of dapper dans?
I have like a bunch of long nonsense that I was going
Is that
to.
your default font on the phone?
Uh-oh.
Is that the system?
Judged.
What is it?
No, not judged. It's like it looks like it's the Matrix talking to you.
It's
like I would feel
what's it called?
very important.
IA writer. They make their own, and it's based on IBM Plex, which is a monospace, like a programming font. It just
Yeah, that's why I feel like Matrix, like the guy in the Matrix who was typing.
yeah,
It feels like
that's right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it really
what's
works.
it called? Like a
It's like-
monospace font? Each
Yeah.
letter takes up the same.
It is.
Oh, it's like
a
Notepad.
monospace font.
Cute.
But yeah, I have a bunch of prose poetry stuff that I was going to turn into a book, and it didn't work out. It's really long and doesn't go anywhere because it's unfinished. So I don't know. I don't think it would really work.
Huh?
I don't think I have anything. That's what I'm trying to tell you. To read for old
You
poetry.
can't read an excerpt.
I
Well,
could.
Maybe Daniel Watts has an excerpt to read, or no? If not, we can also end the live stream because we've been doing this for like half an hour now, and
so I tried to write a poem about this. When I search my Google Drive for poems, I find old stuff that I worked on. I'm like, I kind of remember this. So there's a state senator named Leland Yee.
oh
And and he represented San Francisco. He was running for mayor of San Francisco, and then
my hometown.
he was. I had such conflicted like feelings about him. He wrote the law that banned the sale of violent video games in California to children, which is unconstitutional, violates the First Amendment, and. But on the other hand, he was very much in favor of government transparency. So he passed all these things expanding like Freedom of Information Act kind of stuff in California. But then
I can't hear you.
Sando, too squeaky.
Get us quieter, toy foo.
So he also was smuggling rocket launchers into the Philippines to fight the communists. Like I was like, oh, okay, you know, like either could go either way. Like I'm a little conflicted. And then he became this arms trafficker, and I'm like, what the hell? So I tried to write a poem about him.
I don't remember the part.
I didn't get that far. One man's vulgarity is another man's lyric, but Senator Leland Yee doesn't hear it. First Asian senator from San Francisco, first indicted for weapons trafficking, passed a law to ban violent video games, while young men on BART steal iPhones, aging addicts, old women in the Tenderloin go without homes. Tried to control guns, but sold guns to the wrong ones. Rocket launchers to communists hiding in Muslim Mindanao, rebels in southern Philippines. The man who banned violent video games sold arms to the... I think these are just notes. I don't think
I don't know. I think
right.
there's a little bit of assonance. Like Philippines kind of rhymes with video games. Is that what you said?
Like the Goonies.
Video games in the Philippines.
So he had nicknames Shrimp Boy and Uncle Leland. Those are his names also.
no.
Yeah, like he was this total gangster.
Oh,
like
I
the
call him
Goonies.
Uncle Leland. He's really
Do you?
cool.
It was probably a different one. Like the Goonies gone wrong, Shrimp Boy and Uncle Leland took bribes, sold lies and ended lives, peddled weapons abroad. How is he different than Arnold Schwarzenegger banging his maid? I don't know what
Wait, that happened?
Arnold Schwarzenegger banged his maid, yeah, and that's how he got that kid that he's always running around with.
Dang. I live
yeah.
in Austria, and I
wasn't done
I
with
didn't know.
It was a long time ago when he banged the maid. It was like
before he became.
it came out right before the election that he had the affair with the maid, and then Maria Shriver like left him like 2006, I think, like after he was when he was reelected after the recall, and it was like this 11th hour thing, and everyone's like, oh, October surprise, kind of messed up.
Okay.
But anyway, I did not finish this poem, but that at some point I was writing a poem about Leland Yee.
It kind of has like potential. I like there is some like little internal rhyme bits, and I'm just like, oh, we just need the beatboxer.
Yeah.
And,
I was thinking about it. I was putting some amount of effort into it for a little bit.
Shrimp Boy, but where does Shrimp Boy come from?
That was like his nickname, like his code name with the other gangsters. They're like, oh yeah, Shrimp Boy's got some stuff for us. And they're like, oh, you want to do that? You got to talk to Uncle Leland, Shrimp Boy.
Weird.
Like that was his gangster name.
Okay.
Okay, I found something to read. This will give you the idea of the kind of nonsense I was writing and why it didn't really go anywhere. And I think I wrote this paragraph after reading a book whose name I forget, and the plot is that it's an allegory for fascism where no one talks about the fact that the statues come to life at night and grab people and sword fight with them until they're bloody
Is
Like,
that
wait,
that's a
the
real book?
statues come to life
The
at
book
night.
is a real book. The statues did not really come to life, though.
Wait, they didn't really come to life in the book, or they in the book?
In the
they
book,
did.
the statues come to life,
Okay.
but it's
They
an
just don't
allegory for fascism because no one wants to talk about how the statues are coming.
Like the ones
History
who
is
walk away
coming
from
back.
Omelas.
People are nostalgically reflecting on historical institutions and trying to bring them back in a violent way, and nobody wants to talk about it. Anyway, that's what I was thinking about at the time. Not necessarily. Okay. Pleasances, sententious inconsequence, blenches in retrospect, obstreperish blemishes inoculate the obtuse against inclement presentiments, tepid interregnum sequestered bequests separate rhetoric, stutter, caesuras fretted with conjunctively shunted intestine flesh, unencumbered rhetorical truncheons blush, bludgeoning morals flushed from bronze facades, recumbent interlocutors hunch, besotted with gore, clotted in audient mush.
Wow.
You can see why that's
That
maybe a
parses-
little annoying to read and to
No.
write.
It parses, but it's also really dense. Like, you don't have like tiny words in there. There's no articles.
It's
Very.
just a lot
I
of
don't think there was
assonance.
a conjunction. I heard a preposition. There was a with. That was nice. That's like the kind of thing where you're like, I don't know what you're saying, but keep saying it. It's pretty.
It sounds fun, but it just wasn't going anywhere. It was just a bunch of words.
I mean,
Like
that's,
it's really long. Like that file is really long, but
That's
nothing was
literature.
happening. Sure.
I liked it. I thought it was good. I don't know if I got anything else.
I think on that note, we can end and save some for next week. Yeah? Everyone's just scrolling. They're doom scrolling through their
I'm
own
trying to see
collections.
if I got extra stuff. I had this idea once to write. I wanted to write a song where all the lyrics were taken from things the characters say in Super Mario RPG. So I started collecting like quotes from interesting, like kind of vivid things that the people say in there, and I didn't get that far, but.
I'm the biggest, baddest brute around. Prepare yourself for the great beyond.
This was a haiku that Bowser said, like the moon over the day, my genius and brawn are lost on these fools. Because
Oh.
everybody was ignoring Bowser and looking at Mario.
Oh, but he's actually like a poet and
Yeah.
intellectual.
Yeah, he like went into a corner. He like walked away from the other people who were like, Mario, thanks for saving us. And he helped too, but he walked into the corner and like
Aw.
looked up, and then they came and it's all,
This is how
it
villains are
said that
born.
and it said haiku. Yeah, yeah,
okay,
it
well,
made me feel bad for Bowser.
dang. It's a real Joker story right there.
Yeah. There's a dude named Frog Fuchsius. He said all kinds of stuff in there.
Oh my god. Is that like a mashup of Basho and Confucius? Like,
No, it's a mashup of a frog and Confucius. He's a frog.
no, but Basho
She wrote a
is...
poem about the frog.
I don't know who
Yeah.
Basho is.
The famous
Will the
haiku about
man
the
get
frog.
frog? No. Never
Will
mind.
man get-
There's a
no.
Basho poem about frog. Let's see what the heck you're talking about.
Here we
The
go.
frog is really fun.
According to Bureau of Public Secrets, old pond, frogs jumped in, sound of water. A lonely pond in age-old stillness sleeps.
This-
Suddenly
Oh.
into
this-
it, a lithe frog leaps.
This is a really bad translation of that,
That
but I
was
know which
two
one it's talking about.
translations
Yeah.
concatenated together.
Yeah. But the word for frog is kairu, which also means to return, like to return
Yeah,
home.
Kairu.
So it's a really popular word for haikus because of the double entendre. Anyway.
Frog.
Let's end the live stream because I feel like this banter can go on indefinitely.
That's how people make the money. They just go live streaming away, and then everybody's watching. They're like, oh, chitter chatter.
Yeah,
Put it
that'd
on
be
the
nice
background.
if I had like 1 million
Viewers?
subscribers, but look, we got zero. We got 0 viewers.
Yeah, you just gotta sit here long enough.
Anyone who
So,
cares about poetry is gonna just like watch the reruns later. So,
All right, well, it's your show.
all right, cool. Good night.
Saki's
y'all.
Poetry Night. Tune in next time. Same bat time.
No,
Same
not
bat
same.
channel.
No, different
No?
time.
Oh,
We're meeting
different.
on Thursday next week.
Oh, just
Bye.
tune in at random.
Yeah, or watch the reruns. How do I stop? Oh, there's the next button.